Hello, friends. Hopefully you can see us. I'm like 99% sure that you can.
It's throwing me off.
Because the
TV,
the TV's not
I'm
working.
not supposed to look at myself.
You can't tell me
How
I'm
am I
live
supposed
right
to make
now.
sure my hair's not doing something stupid?
Hey, my vanity will only accommodate so much, Don, and this is just not acceptable.
The TV that we use to see the stream is currently not working. So, the magic box says that we're on the right scene, so it should be fine.
Yep.
Free me from this prison. Absolutely not, CMS. Thank you for 56 months.
Wow.
Maybe when we get to 72, it's like a bad car loan.
Or
Don't offer him that. He can't leave.
I said maybe. I didn't say yes.
Ooh. Not a chance.
When it was just roll it into a new loan.
Ooh.
Anyway, welcome back, everybody. We are Not Great RPG, and we're here once again for the Lost Kings of Adoris, the campaign that I DM. So we'll go around the table real quick, introduce ourselves, and then I'll do a brief recap, and we'll pick up where we left off last week.
John and I play Marcus.
I'm Sarah, and I play Dandelion.
I'm Glenn, and I play Endgear.
I'm Autumn, and I play Twig.
I'm Mike, and I play Mr. Pigeon.
I'm the artist formerly known as Not Lawrence, and I play the character formerly known as Shay.
It's true. And I am Don, the DM of this campaign.
Sorry, real quick, is your character's name Endgear?
No.
Okay.
No.
I mean, if it is, I like that. It's a neat name.
Yeah.
Very good.
Just for clarity, he has not said it to anyone in the... I don't think he
he-
said
I
it
was
to
gonna say,
anyone.
I did not
know
that. He's-
I told two people.
You told
Right.
Dandelion?
I think, yeah.
I told Dandelion, I think I told Ren.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I've just been calling him our own new old friend.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
New old.
Captain Emmerich asked, and he was really cagey about it, and he was like, cool,
That's
man.
the old guy.
I'm gonna go.
Don't hurt me.
You can hang out with us.
New
Be
one.
fine.
It's fine. Yeah, so last week, you guys kind of grappled with what had happened in the cathedral with the slaying of John Dar and the changing of Shay into Ren, which you guys did get some amount of clarity on that, I believe.
An amount.
An
Yeah.
amount of clarity.
There were words spoken
Words
about
were
it.
spoken that you are the same person, you just look different.
Sure.
I think that's what your character said to Dandelion specifically.
Ren has
Some
killed and
some
will kill
amount
again.
of clarity was
I think,
given.
in a sense, was a phrase that was used
Yes.
to answer
Yeah.
that question.
Yeah, some level of clarity was given. And then Marcus was like, hey guys, we gotta go to the castle. There's a lot of boys over
there are
there.
people like quite literally fighting to the death right now.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot of MILFs over there.
Yeah, dude, I gotta
so
get-
I really need
I gotta
to
get-
There's a lot of men that I need to fight over there. So you guys popped onto your horses. Dandelion got on the back of the horse belonging to
old guy.
Endgear,
Yeah.
and immediately as she grabbed his coat, shrunk back to a quaint 1 foot tall with wings, and then held on for dear life as she was pulled along towards the castle. You guys got there. All the guards in the courtyard had essentially surrendered or been killed. There were a lot of deaths on both sides. You guys got into the castle proper and up to the doors that led into the throne room that were being sealed and preparing to be rammed by several other soldiers. And you guys were like, we got this. And then Mr. Pigeon pulled the dynamite out of his magical sleeves and lit it, and you guys blew a hole in the door, sending several guards flying backwards. And seeing all of you charge in, the few that had the king at sword point were like, nope, and dropped their weapons.
We did
'cause
the right thing.
They don't get paid enough for those.
Mhm.
They're gonna
You got
die.
paid enough to usurp the kingdom,
No.
but not to deal with the door exploding or the clown?
I mean, would you want to deal with the clown?
Yeah, that kind of looks cool.
It's very scary. So in the overwhelming 3 against 7 that you are, or actually it was 8, they were like, nope, I don't think so. Because you guys just blew a hole in the door. You guys walked up to the king, and he was like, man, I'm real sorry about all this. And Marcus was like, you're the worst. And in many more words, basically told him that he's just a pussy bitch.
He said that verbatim.
Much more
I heard Marcus say exactly
more dignified words.
He said the exact thing, just with an accent. Much more dignified.
Basically
man.
that. Functionally,
I remember how I talked about possibly going bard for College of Eloquence. Why would I do it when I can just call the king a pussy bitch? Okay.
no, he
Clearly, I've got those levels already.
So the rest of the party went, ooh,
Yeah,
burn.
Too real, buddy. Too real, Marcus.
No, Marcus was incredibly upset that the king would not have done anything or died for his people, and allowed corruption to
Root itself here for a long time.
and gain a hold of his kingdom, and
I'm disappointed.
incredibly disappointed. He said, I'm not mad, I'm just
not mad, I'm
disappointed.
disappointed.
You pussy bitch. And then left. Shay also pieced out. I think Dandelion followed. Sorry, Ren also pieced out. Dandelion left. Engir walked up and laughed at the king, and then also left.
Called him a
I
pussy
did
bitch.
call him a pussy bitch.
Yeah,
I
right?
called him
That's the
spineless.
person who called him a pussy bitch.
I called him spineless.
Yeah, called him spineless and left. Twig had run to the castle instead of riding on the horses because she refused to look at anybody and was very upset that Mr. Pigeon had been riding on the back of a horse with Marcus, which was obviously unacceptable after she saved his life from whatever was
Just
clearly
weird clown
happening. It was weird clown dancing. Mr. Pigeon gave him a toy balloon sword, which the king then just knighted Mr. Pigeon, kind of unaware of what to do, and then tried to hand it back to him, and Mr. Pigeon was like, nah, you keep it, without saying anything. And then he left also.
Pussy bitch.
Yeah, keep it, you pussy bitch. This is the only sword you're worthy of. You guys went outside. Marcus began digging holes for all of the bodies to bury them. Captain Emmerich, Benjamin, and... Did you help, Engir? No. Just Captain Emmerich and Benjamin helped dig these holes. Everyone else, aside from Dandelion, went back to the tavern for the night. Dandelion stayed and played some music outside of the castle gates to honor the fallen. Once everybody was buried, Marcus went out into the woods and cut down several small trees and collected enough wood to make crosses for all of these graves. Came back and put all of them up. Dandelion still playing her music in the castle courtyard. And the two of you then went back to the tavern and fell asleep. Marcus, as he fell asleep, saw in the corner of the room, in the light of essentially the morning at this point, a tree with two shadowy figures standing in front of it, buds of flowers starting to burst through the cracked, burnt bark of this tree. And Dandelion, as she started to fall asleep, heard a rocking chair back and forth, of which there is not one anywhere nearby
That I'm aware of.
that you're aware of. She had also, at this point, returned to normal size as she got off of the horse in the castle. I forgot about that. You guys awoke the next morning, had some dinner.
Sandwiches.
Or no, it was you slept. It was morning. You slept all the way through to the next one. And then you guys had breakfast, talked for a while, a little bit with your new old friend Engir about what he's been up to, and then you guys walked outside towards the castle to see what today had in store for you. And Marcus informed you all of his plan to. You did inform them of that, right?
Yes.
No.
He was
going to
gonna
go yell at the king some more.
Yeah.
If you all would like to accompany me.
What are you gonna say?
Right?
and
I'm going to register a complaint.
insist on helping Captain Emmerich with finding replacements for the people that had been killed or were traitors within the kingdom, and had hoped that Captain Emmerich would take over as king because the king is a pussy bitch. And as you guys got to the castle courtyard, you saw in the light of the morning of the dawn that sunflowers had bloomed from each of these soldiers' graves within the castle courtyard. And that is where we are picking up this week. You are all standing amongst these sunflowers, the whole group of you.
March towards the keep.
Yep. Everyone following, I assume?
Yes.
You guys walk towards the castle doors, and as you walk up the stairs and ascend, you can see that the doors, these dark oak doors that had been, not the ones that were blown open yesterday, were open, and you can see Captain Emmerich standing with Benjamin in the entryway, and he spots all of you and walks over. Good morning, friends.
Yeah, good morning. Busy day ahead, I'm imagining.
Yes. The king intends to give a speech shortly for all of the people of the city.
Okay.
So there is much to prepare for that.
Yes.
Among other things, obviously.
Yes, do you have ideas in mind for individuals?
Yes, there are several good people in this city that I think I can count on to hopefully the king will have my ear. That I can, or I'll have the king's ear, rather, other way around. No, other way around. First sounds right. He'll listen to me and allow me to make recommendations.
Having second thoughts on this. I'm just going to go now. Cry in the corner of the kingdom. Everyone's supposed to do.
What an odd time for
Right? A breakdown, right?
I don't know who I am.
Yeah, right?
But yes, there are several higher-up merchants and common folk that I think could be trusted to replace those that were lost or otherwise cleansed from the city. Yes.
Very good. Well, what can we do to help?
Well, for now, I'd be honored if you would join me as my guests for this speech. I do entirely understand your disappointment in this man, but if you wouldn't mind standing by my side for this, I would appreciate it.
Certainly. I'm curious to see what he has to say for himself.
I am as well. I've not heard anything one way or the other. I haven't seen him this morning.
Okay. Everyone all right with that?
I can be a guest.
Be our guest.
I'll stand
It's a
at
saying here in
Captain
Fjordane.
Emmerich's side. Right next to him.
Next to who?
Captain Emmerich.
Okay, yeah, very good. He just looks over. Very good, Dandelion. You've got the part down.
This is what he wanted, right?
Yeah. I could think of nothing else. You know, there's a song that goes along with this. I'm the guest, I'm the guest, I'm the guest, I'm the guest, I'm the guest. That's what all guests in Fjordane have to sing. You're a guest now, Dandelion. It's
Yes.
customary.
It's
Is it
exactly
not?
correct. Extremely customary.
It'd be rude in the face of a future king.
It's a song that all Fjordanian children learn.
Exactly.
In their,
I, as a Fjordanian boy, took great honor
Yes.
in singing the Fjordanian guest song.
Yes, I am the guest. It's a wonderful song sung by all the children.
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll an insight check
Absolutely.
on both of them?
One of these days, it's gonna pass.
Bam, baby!
Not today, I guess.
21. I'm the guest. I'm the guest.
What'd you roll?
I have to tell you, my insight is in fact +4.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
It's an 8.
Okay. Yeah, so Marcus looks like he's being completely truthful. No expression on his face. Captain Emmerich looks a little bit more confused. and you clue into the fact that
He's old. He's not
very
been
old.
a boy in some time.
Exactly.
My boyhood years were recent.
He's not been a boy in some time.
I was a recent boy.
And like what
recent.
most old people do, he did say, "I am the guest."
Yeah.
In the style of old man, not really understanding what's going
Old
on.
man, king.
Previous.
The boomer generation,
Yeah.
not getting it. But yeah, I mean, you trust Marcus, and as a
You're damn right
as a
you do.
Fjordanian boy, there's no reason.
Right?
Alright. I'll pull out my pan flute and just start playing the exactly how Marcus sang it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The guest song of the Fjordanian.
Yeah.
Which
Yes.
goes, how?
I'm the guest, I'm the guest.
I
I'm
think
the
you're
guest.
missing a few verses.
Am I the map? I think I'm the
No.
map.
that's our song.
I hate those guys.
I'm the captain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you all discuss the logistics of the "I'm the Guest" song.
This is not a
And-
very good song.
I mean, I didn't write it. I feel no sorrow towards the quality of the song.
I'm gonna,
You could write a new song, Dandelion. You're a bard now. You do singing things, right?
I do playing things.
Playing things. You could write a new song, an instrumental. You could accompany the king's speech with it.
That's true. I think that would be very nice, Dandelion.
Maybe something a little bit more somber. But edgy.
I have a pan flute.
Yeah, we're looking for a vibe here, Dandelion. That's all. You'll find it.
How complicated is this pan flute that I have?
Oh, it's like 6 times the size of a normal pan flute.
It's like all the
Yeah.
several
the
scales.
small,
This
the
is the
lowest
grand
size.
piano of
The
uh,
lowest
yeah.
size is like a fucking didgeridoo.
No, it's a little larger than normal. It's not like just 6 whistles. It's a little bit more complicated than that. You can-
36.
36 missiles. 36 missiles on this pan flute. Yeah, so you guys wait with Captain Emmerich for a bit as people bustle around the castle, and then he looks towards all of you and, well, it is
Can I
time.
get some bustling noises for my immersion?
Bustle, bustle.
All right, I'm prepared. Thank you,
Respectfully. On God.
It's a crowd in here today.
It's really bustling.
Good lord.
I can hear it.
Put that table over there!
What is his job? Tables! While we have some time while we're standing here, I would pull Ren aside and I kind of walk over away from the group a little bit, mainly away from Captain Emmerich. And,
How dare you?
put the table over there. Do we have any cause to believe the king might be dying?
That somebody might kill him.
Yes.
Not in particular.
Maybe associates trying to clean up. Dear God.
I think he was more of a figurehead for the much of his recent years. I don't know that anyone would have cause to get him out of the way for something he would know.
Okay. Then I think the only person I could think of would be in our group. But I don't think he would do such.
I don't think that he would either.
Okay. I mean, if you think somebody else might, I can go. Take care.
No one comes to mind.
Okay? I trust you. Very smart. Oh, and shh. I didn't say anything about killing the king.
Of course not.
You turn and you see a guy standing there.
Bustle! The tables!
He drops several ceramic dishes and just starts like he frantically like grabs two of the pieces of dishes and starts walking away from you guys.
Sure, it'll be fine.
I'm just encouraging the pan fluting.
I say I want to protect. All right, back to the group, I guess.
Sure hope they're not plotting something.
Why would they be plotting something?
You know,
The plot has occurred.
you're right. We're done. The plot's gone.
There's no plot here.
Pan flute, only pan flute. Needs more pan
Did you guys
flute.
see my new tool? It's a plot hook.
It's just the same like 6 notes over and
Yep.
over
Yeah.
and over again.
We're standing there. I want to look around. Did you bury like all the bodies, or all the bodies buried?
I only buried the noble knights of Fjordane, not the traitorous bastards.
Not the traitors.
Not the traitors.
So there's some bodies hanging out.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't know whether or not
They've been piled.
Yeah. Oh.
Bring out your dead.
It's been a whole day.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't know whether
Probably
or not
just gonna
they've
burn
done
him.
anything.
It's fine.
Yeah, I want to go take a look at those.
There's just a clown in the courtyard.
Ah, yes, the corpse pile.
Yeah.
Perfect. Just what I was looking for.
Somebody called the corpse clown.
Are any of them like not completely like looking gross yet?
Yeah.
All
They're
right.
fine. It's only been a day.
All right.
It's the fall. It's not that hot.
Okay. Do any of them look a little bit like someone I might know that might have left the party recently? Vaguely. That doesn't have to be deadpan. Just a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
I need
Okay.
a generalization.
Yeah,
sure,
I want to
absolutely.
find one.
Yeah,
and-
you can see one that he actually inscribed. His armor is cracked open, and he's got like he has young money written on his.
Well, I was gonna get a sign, but I want to find that. I want to sit down and cast Animate Dead.
Yep.
Why do you have that spell?
And yeah, because I'm a cleric. And
for clamoring.
once he's up, I want to clean him up and take out Rin's clothes that I have and put them on him and dress him up, make him look nice, and he's gonna carry my bag.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So you watch as
I do want to. I'll take time if it needs to clean. I don't want him like to stink. I don't know how the
yeah,
spell
no,
works.
that's totally
I don't
fine.
want to scare people too much. We'll use clown makeup to try and make him
Yeah,
look as
sure,
alive
sure.
as possible.
Need someone to clip that and send it to Paul.
Is anyone with Mr. Pigeon, by the way, or are you just outside alone?
I mean, I would have wandered away, but I
We're
wouldn't.
busy.
Pan flute,
Yeah,
plotting.
wherever
I wouldn't have
Marcus.
particularly worried if
Sure.
anybody had walked.
Twig.
It's not my job to stand. To
I
Official
don't
business.
think I would have been like with him. I'd
Okay.
be
Watching from your castle windows.
Be in the bushes behind.
Yeah, so as you start casting spell, you look and you just Twig's looking out the window.
maybe like a wall.
Stalking.
And I'm just,
Oh,
like,
sure.
peeking
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, you're
Just checking.
yeah, just making sure everything's
Every
fine.
time you
It's
turn around,
normal.
she's a little bit closer.
What do you do?
Normal. It's comforting.
Yeah. Yeah, so you raise this
Zombie.
Young money.
zombie young money
Young zombie,
out
if you will.
from the pile of bodies, and you turn to start prepping the rest of this spell, and you hear dishes clatter to the ground and shatter into pieces. And this man just again picks up 2 pieces and sprints away.
He's just in the wrong place.
There's
at
a
the
clown in
wrong
the
time. I
courtyard.
want to believe it's
raising
the
the
same
dead.
guy.
Someone's here to kill the king. It's my first day on the job.
It's a zombie.
Assassins, corpse
Yeah.
clowns.
Terrible. You dress them up, make them look nice, and you
Clown makeup.
Clown
the
makeup.
whole- Okay.
and you hand them your bag and
Sling
everything.
it right over the shoulder, pat him
Yeah.
on the back, and bring
Yeah.
him with me.
Man, everything looks great. And as you're walking back towards the castle, all of you in the courtyard see a man that is dressed like a waiter just sprinting out of the castle. Mr. Pigeon, he runs past you, just yelling.
What's he yelling?
Just screaming, generally.
It's fine.
Oh my god, oh
My
my god,
version.
oh my god.
I wasn't even supposed to be here today.
I don't do this anymore.
Turns out he was the assassin.
I can't remember my
Shit,
name.
they're on to me, they're on to me.
They already know.
They have zombies!
Yeah, and you walk back inside, and the rest of you see Mr. Pigeon walking in with a clown holding a bag.
There's another clown here.
Dressed in Ren's clothes.
It's Rin. Clown Rin.
Not like make like a
Drowsy
dust
field
him
mouse.
off motion, like he's fine.
Drowsy
Little
field
pat.
mouse.
That's not Rin.
No, that's Rin.
That's Ren.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's Rin.
No.
That's Rin. And that's Rin.
I'm gonna like grab the face.
See?
Uncanny,
Give him a
really.
little pat.
No.
See? He loves it.
No, Rin is with... Rin's not here. Are there a lot of people around us?
They're bustling.
What does it sound like?
Bustle, bustle, bustle.
Rin's
Put
not
that table over there! A little more to the left!
These fucking tables, I swear.
It's actually the same
It's
table.
just one
He's just
table,
been
yeah.
walking around with it.
The ice sculpture's falling!
You leave my demons alone.
It fell over. There's nothing I could do. I did say the ice sculpture was falling. I didn't say what it was of.
Rin?
Rin. Mr. Pigeon found him. Well done, Mr. Pigeon. And now he gets to be with us. In physical
Dandelion's gonna
form.
pull out her knife.
I will stand in between.
You don't need that for the flute.
I'm gonna tie a balloon to his wrist. Make him look as non-threatening as possible.
See?
Does anybody else have a bag?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna try and take somebody's bag.
Yep.
I'm gonna show them as I sling it over his other shoulder. And
Yep,
him a
I'll
pat,
give you
sorry.
my backpack. Filled with paladin stuff.
You have a paladin bag. A paladin shoulder.
It's perfect.
Crowbars, wooden lanterns.
Offload this heaven, I mean paladin.
Yep.
Rin did it.
Yeah, right?
Not me.
We caught him.
Yeah, as you guys are standing here with this happening, Benjamin walks over. Oh, hey, hello everyone. Oh, dear God. What happened to Rin?
That's not Rin.
I'm Rin.
Rough night.
That's
the fuck
Rin.
are you?
Rin.
I don't think he looked like that. He did transform in front of my eyes, though.
Big explosion. Sometimes changes a person.
I'm very sorry to hear it. You'll be fine, Rin. So
For
is that
sure.
like a copy or something?
So it's a clown.
Oh, that's Rin. I'm Rin.
I'm very lost here.
Don't worry about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
When in doubt, don't worry. Be happy.
I'll have to try that.
It's great. I feel like you've been doing that for a long time, actually. Like you're a natural at it.
Yes,
See, you're not
Second
even worried
nature.
at all anymore.
No. He, at this point, is not wearing his golden armor that he had been wearing before. He is wearing regular silver Levi's and a
Cowboy
cowboy boots and a Hawaiian shirt. I'm out of here.
Howdy.
All right. Well, my business here is done.
No, he has regular Fjordanian soldier armor on, no longer this gregarious regalia golden armor that he had on previously. Thank you all for everything that you did. I'm sorry I couldn't do more.
You did a lot.
Well, I read.
Yeah, that was very helpful for us. It was motivational.
Yeah, really?
See, everyone's roaring with approval.
Dandelion's still glaring at the clown
The
imposter.
clown, yeah.
Dagger.
I will mentally have the clown. I'm just going to refer to him as Rin from now on. Or Drowsy. We'll go with Drowsy Field Mouse.
Okay.
I will mentally command Drowsy Field Mouse to now nod as well. As we
See?
know along the
Well,
both of us.
Especially
thank
Rin.
you. Thank you. I don't think we could have done this without all of you.
Probably not.
I don't think so. You were really great.
Thank you. It was an honor to help Fjordane.
Yes, yes, and he just kind of like brushes off his armor a little bit and
Mm-hmm.
doesn't fit quite as well as the other one, but it's nice. I think it feels more like me.
That's good.
I have a lot to learn.
Yes.
Not a captain anymore.
Well, that's all right. Something to look forward to down the road.
Was he a captain?
I mean, he was filling in for a captain.
It's always better to have something to work towards, a goal.
Yes, that's right. I'm going to try reading more.
That's a great idea, Ben.
Yeah.
You should.
Roll
We should
insight
maybe
on
say
Marcus.
There's a library in town, you know?
Yes, well, I'm gonna be leaving soon. Tomorrow.
The castle?
The city.
Where are you going?
Figured I should probably go help my mother. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
We cut the head off the snake, but I don't know how far the body goes. Or if there's other snakes.
I don't think I've heard this metaphor.
I don't know a lot about snakes.
The anatomy of a snake is very elusive.
They might have more than one head, Ben.
That's possible. I don't...
I think if
Is
you
that
cut
how
the head off a
snakes work?
snake, they die. Usually.
Also
well,
that.
maybe they
You should-
regrow like chickens.
Yeah.
So that's possible.
What?
Some chickens work in Fjordane.
Never mind.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's the saying.
Mm-hmm. That's why you can have your nightly choking.
Is that nightly with a K?
Yes. Exactly.
And
I
that's how you
paladin
become a
after all.
sir.
Yeah, we're immune.
Yes, we're immune to disease and...
Oh no.
it's great. I'll be taking
Greenridge?
Greenridge. Yeah, I'll be taking a small
Company of men?
Yeah, minor militia.
A militia.
Yes, a small one.
Okay.
Just only 20 or 30 men.
Will you be in command of this?
No.
Okay.
Captain Emmerich said that probably wasn't a good plan.
Yes, you'd be emotional because it's your mother and you might not make the right decision.
Yes, that is exactly what he said.
Yes, he's a wise man.
So I'm going to be second in command, but I won't actually be commanding anybody. It's a whole process of where the second in command is actually the last in line.
Yes.
Just in case something happens, it actually goes through the rest of the group before it gets to them as
Yes.
sort of like the last man standing.
Yes.
So that'll be
It's an honor
Yes, that'll be my
to
job.
ensure that everyone else is in line.
There's
Yes.
a cruel part of me that wants to ask him to name the people of the militia in order that they would acquire leadership before it got to him. And I'm not going to do that to you.
There's Joseph 1, Joseph 2.
Joey.
I couldn't actually read the list of names.
Perfect. There you
so
go.
You gotta go to the library more.
yes, perhaps when I get back.
I think reading's probably kind of important.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'll probably grab a book to read on the way on the travel. It'll
Did
be
we
about a
obtain
week.
children's books? There's a
Mm-hmm.
Did we put
There
that
was
back?
a children's
we put it
book
back.
section. Yeah, we didn't take
yeah.
them.
Never mind.
But there's a lot of books I've been on my list.
Yes,
To
when you
read.
go to the library, when you speak with the elderly man, the librarian, you can just ask him where the books that the young master had looked into were
Right.
great sources to follow up on.
Yes, sure. Thank you. That is very helpful.
He was the most well-read of all of us, so I would trust his book selection.
Is that true? And he looks back and forth between you and the zombie.
That's not him. He's not here.
I'll have him nod.
Oh, okay.
I believe he said it was a restricted area.
I'll nod.
I don't know. I don't know if I'll be allowed in there. I'm not a captain anymore, but I'll
You don't
certainly
need to be.
ask.
It's
Oh,
all
okay.
right.
Sure.
Young master was not a captain. He was allowed in.
Well, but he's a missionary, right?
Yes, expert in.
Right.
Just gonna put my hand on his shoulder. Just look him dead in the eyes. You're gonna be all right.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
So is your mother.
Yeah, I know she'll
be
okay.
all right.
I already know.
I guarantee.
I know teleport.
Right?
Yeah.
I tell you that I'd be in command of this.
But yeah, I'll be leaving tomorrow, and then I don't know when I come back. Maybe I'll try to write about all this stuff that happened.
That might be a good idea to share the difficulties of being a knight and of having so much pressure put on you from people in power.
Yeah, in between my fighting class that I'll be teaching and everything else.
Yeah,
As long as I have time.
absolutely. I would make sure you devote sufficient time to the reading first, and then the writing.
Oh, right. Yeah, I would need
Yes.
both of those. That's right. Sure.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to read what I wrote down.
Yes.
If I
Or
wrote it.
you could paint it.
I think I was just gonna say it and have someone else just write the things that I wrote
Yes.
that I said.
Oral.
Yeah.
Well done.
How would you know that they wrote what you said?
Well, I would only pick somebody that I trusted. One of my many friends that I have here.
Yeah.
I've got many, so many friends.
But genuinely thank all of you for everything that you did. I don't know where we would be, where I would be, what I might have done if what he said was true, that he was behind everything. I don't know what would have happened had it gotten further than this.
Thankfully, we won't ever have to find out.
Yes, I might have had to be king, and that's just far too much responsibility. I wouldn't have time for that.
Uh-huh.
But, I'm gonna go to the library. Not really one for speeches, parades, yes, but I don't think I should be up there.
I agree, Ben.
I don't think the people need to see me anymore.
I think it would be good to someday. But
Yeah, when
In the
I've earned it.
yes.
Yeah. Well,
I would pull him in for a hug.
yeah. He would hug you back and pat you on the back with his armor kind of clanking around.
Mm-hmm. You did good.
Thank you. He's gonna then walk around and try to hug everyone else.
I'm still pointing a dagger at
Yep.
fake Rin.
Drowsy Field Mouse is
And
gonna open his
mine.
arms wide.
Oh, all right.
Big hug. Give him a little kiss on the cheek.
Oh, thanks, Ren. That was
Trying to take a
was
nibble
a
out
little
of
bit
him.
odd.
Do I have a handshake
But it's
for,
fine, Paladin.
for a disgraced
I
knight?
liked it. Thanks, Ren.
No.
I don't think I do.
Sure. Yeah.
Give him a little curtsy.
Yep. Oh, right. Nope. I remember. No. I'm
Don't
sorry.
look
Not
at
even-
me.
Not even perceiving. Sorry.
You're not gonna hug our new friends?
Oh, I haven't gotten around there yet. Trying to remember. Twig. Thank you for everything. You're great, but I won't. You're not even there. So I don't
while
know.
he's not looking at me, I'm gonna take a couple steps away.
Okay.
Be off
Yeah.
to the side.
Twig, I just really appreciate all that you did. So thank you. Yeah. And then he walks over. Dandelion,
That was all you had to say about Twig?
I thought I said a lot.
All right.
I mean, she had you got the fish, right? The big barrel of fish?
Yes.
Cool.
Cool.
Dandelion.
Good luck.
Thanks. I don't know who you are, but you killed some stuff, so bring it in.
I'll grab both of his hands.
Yeah. This is cool.
This is the Greco-Roman knuckle lock.
This was fun. Well, I'm gonna go.
We'll see you someday, then.
Thanks. I certainly hope so.
Say hi to your mom.
I will.
For me.
Send you wink.
Oh no.
I will. I hope you guys make it back to the city someday, and aren't all.
Yeah, we might come visit the family estate in Greenridge when matters are all settled.
Yeah,
Have
that
tea
would be
with your
great.
mom.
Yeah, that would be great. I could show you the mines that I used to get stuck in when I was a kid and run around.
Sounds like a blast.
It'll be fun.
Your mom ever go in the mines and get stuck? I got a crowbar.
Well, great to see all of you, and thank you. Don't forget, Paladin. He walks out the door and takes a step and trips a little bit and catches himself. Keeps going out into the day.
He's got a new lease on life, and I don't think he's gonna be able to hold it up at all.
No.
Oh well.
Marcus, I don't know if he's gonna make it.
No, probably not. I mean, it's out of our hands. You know, we're not capable of babysitting him for the rest of his life.
Sounds like he's got about 20 to 30 babysitters.
There you go. An entire militia.
Do you think he'll actually make it there?
They might.
Possibly.
It's supposed to be scary, though. Right?
Over there, where he's going? Sounded like it. I mean, they kidnapped his mother.
Mm-hmm.
Mom napped.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's bad, right?
Yeah. It's terrible. Well, anyway.
Captain Emmerich walks back over. He, this time, now has armor that does reflect the captain of the guard. Similar to the armor that you had seen when you guys first came into Lakemount, where the captain had one of the shoulders was painted red. Both of his are painted red with gold filigree around the side. The crest of Fjordane is emblazoned on the front of his armor. And he walks over to all of you. Well, it's about that time.
Well, we're all ready.
Jump back at his side.
Very good.
Play my
I
pants.
am the guest. You all saw Benjamin. I assume I saw him walk this way. I assume he...
Yes.
I hope he said something.
Yes, extended his gratitude, and we did likewise, and bid him farewell and good luck.
He's gonna need it.
Yes. Yes, he will.
But I think he'll be okay. There's 30 to 40 men that I'm sending with him.
Sure, that'll be enough.
Yes.
I like that there's 10 he doesn't know about.
Exactly.
Oh shit! I'm at the end
They're
of
in the
the
shadows.
line.
Yeah, we're actually sending the whole military. There's nobody. There's going to be nobody here.
That's great.
no. I'm kidding. But I think he'll be all right.
Yes, and I think it'll be great to stamp out whatever corruption is in Greenridge anyway.
Yes, it's needed.
Mm-hmm.
It is needed now that we, know that it's there, and we've cut the head off of this horrid plant. I think we can rid this kingdom of its roots.
Yes.
Not a snake.
Speaking of corruption,
Yes.
just in case we don't get a chance to speak with you further, our new friend here seems to think he might be able to pick up the trail of John Doe's associates if he could go through what remains of John Doe's belongings. You don't happen to know where he was posted up after his office disappeared?
Yes, I can. After the king's speech, I can have someone, perhaps in the morning, take all of you over to his estate, if that would be amenable.
I think the sooner the better,
Sure.
just to be safe.
Yes. After the speech, I'm sure we can get somebody to get you through the rest of the guards there into his estate. Yes.
Very good. Thank you.
Of course. Honored guests, friends, right this way. He leads you guys up through the throne room, through a set of stairs behind the throne that cascade up and around, and walks you back towards the front of the castle through a rather large, common area for what appears to be the king's quarters. And you can see the king standing at the very precipice of this large balcony. He's standing in the doorway, not yet having walked outside, just looking out at the city. As you guys all walk in, he turns. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Honored to be in attendance, sir.
Thank you. Well, if everyone's ready, I suppose we'll get started.
Yes.
He walks out through this door, and Captain Emmerich follows, and you stand kind of in an arc behind him, with Captain Emmerich at the center in whatever order you would like to be in. And the king walks forward, and you can hear the sounds of the people of the city kind of loudly just making crowd sounds, and there is a light, not like oohing and eyeing, but kind of awestruck because people have not seen this man in some time. And he walks forward and puts his hand up, and everyone stops speaking. My good people of Fjordane, I am deeply sorry for the corruption that I allowed to breed within this city by my inaction. The Duke of Commerce, John Dar, was behind this horrible plot, and thanks to these people behind me and a number of great men of this city, his corruption is no more. We will work over the next several weeks to root out whatever factions may exist of his corruption within this city, and then return to normal. But there will be one stark difference. I will not be your king. My inaction for the last too long has allowed for this degradation of our great city, of our great kingdom, and I cannot in good conscience remain the figurehead of this city or this kingdom. I feel it would be unfair and unjust to continue to be your leader. And as I have no heir, the responsibility of king shall fall to one man who now stands behind me. This strange clown that I met, and I really love him. And I think you're all gonna love him too, Mr. Richmond!
He points to like the corpse clown.
Yeah. He's a really big talker.
Thought this city was a joke before.
Captain Emmerich. He is a great man. He is an honest man. And he will lead you well. I am truly sorry. Thank you.
Just nudge Emmerich forward at
Yeah,
that.
he just steps forward. And the king steps to the side, and Captain Emmerich just kind of looks back at all of you. And... he walks forward and kind of furrows his brow in the direction of the king, and the king whispers something to him and then stabs him in the chest.
What's up?
I'm now your king.
Dandelion will start playing a kingly song.
Yeah, Captain
And
Emmerich just
I'm the king.
hoists
I'm
the
the
king
king.
off the
It'll be a little
I'm
more
the king.
kingly than
It's more like he's the king.
He's the king. He's
Oh, no.
the motherfucking king.
Dandelion. Bardic inspiration.
Bardic inspiration,
Yeah.
sure. And Captain Emmerich kneels after the king whispers something, and the king reaches to his side for his sword and stops for a minute because the balloon is there. And he just like looks back towards the room, and someone rushes out holding this ceremonial like
Gun.
jewel encrusted blunderbuss.
Bam!
Ceremonial,
That would be a
jewel encrusted blunderbuss.
And he
fire in the air.
he picks up this blunderbuss and picks up a.
Please tell me this is canon.
It is. He picks up
No,
a
it's a
blade
gun.
from the end and affixes it to the center of this blunderbuss, which now forms the hilt of this weapon. We're going with it. And he. Sorry.
No, never mind.
Okay. And he.
You gonna bayonet him?
Not on my watch!
Prepare to charge!
And Captain Emmerich knocks it out of his hand, stabs him, and throws his body onto the
I hate you.
He looks down towards Captain Emmerich, who kneels and
Has never seen a gun
and
before.
never seen a gun before,
Seen a gun
and
sword.
just closes his eyes in preparation of death. And the
Captain
blade,
Emmerich's a good man.
and you can't have him.
Too good for this world.
I'll make him a god. Yeah, so he looks down towards Captain Emmerich. By the power invested in me by the state of Mississippi,
I now pronounce you.
you're the king now.
You're the king now.
Hey, there's a reason why I'm stepping down. I ain't too good
And
at this
that's
shit.
when Dudley charges in.
You can
he
see,
already
you actually
the
can
king?
see
Yes.
that the pillow that this blunderbuss and
Was
sword
brought
came
in
on was
on.
brought in was a Pillow King branded
Yeah.
pillow. You could see it on the tag.
It's a PK.
It's a PK pillow.
Oh, true peacekeeper, dude.
And Captain Emmerich remains kneeling as the king places the blade on the side of his shoulder and recites this ritual. Ritual? Yeah, it's a ritual. They're very religious.
Gonna need the historical significance of this blunderbuss.
By the strength of Tyr and the power of Torm, you will lead these people to a new age of greatness. And he moves the sword from one shoulder to the other like a graduation cap. Rise, King Emmerich. And he pulls the crown off of his own head and places it on Captain Emmerich's head, and Captain Emmerich stands and the people begin clapping and cheering. And the king turns and walks, and walks back into his quarters, and Captain Emmerich looks back at all of you and just turns and walks forward to address his people. My fellow Fjordanians, I am no king.
And he puts the crown on Mr. Pigeon.
But he...
But this
is great.
This is a king.
I thought about maybe the cat or dandelion, but I don't know how well that would work. And I'm not allowed to perceive twigs, so I don't know how I would line up the crown. It would be really awkward.
It left me with but one option.
Yeah. Oh shit, Marcus! Oh God.
One option.
Clown, of course.
Pillow King.
I understand.
I am no king. I am but a humble servant, a fellow citizen of Fjordane like all of you. When I rose this morning, I did not expect this great honor, nor did I expect this great burden to be placed upon me, but I will lead with whatever semblance of good that I can, and I promise that you will not suffer as you have been suffering. I will lead with all of you by my side, never behind. Thank you. Everyone starts cheering, and he just turns and steps backwards towards all of you. Well,
I would kneel.
none of you have to kneel, please.
I feel like it's just me.
Please.
Everyone else
None of you have to kneel.
You guys
pulls out the blunderbuss. Kneel for your king.
A curtsy.
Yeah. You are all heroes honored in this kingdom. Please rise, Marcus. He puts his hand down for you.
Take his hand and stand up.
And he walks you with him towards the front
Of the room?
of the balcony.
Towards the balcony.
Yes.
Pushing you off this balcony.
The last of the shores.
Not on my watch.
You
Not
will
in my kingdom.
I have but one more thing that I would like to say.
I put on a shirt.
No.
Should I have a shirt on?
It's too late.
The man beside me.
So hot right
I don't
You
even know
seen
what
this
to
out,
say.
boy?
Oh, God.
What a chad this guy.
Ooh.
Matter of fact, take the shirt back off.
We want to watch you take it off slowly.
This one's for the crowd.
Right? You could just step onto the railing of the balcony so we can get a good look from below.
We're going to just spin you in the air. This is Marcus Shaw the Fourth. He is the son of the great Marcus Shaw the Third, a very important figure in our kingdom, one whose name has lived in infamy for some time. I am here to tell you today that infamy was misgiven, was false, and he should not have been banished from this kingdom as he was. He was an extremely honorable man, and I was proud to call him my friend. And I stand beside you and ask you to accept this man next to me. He has reclaimed the Shaw name, and brought great honor to not only his family but to our great kingdom. Please treat him with the respect that he deserves. And I know there are many among you that remember Marcus Shaw III and have great memories of him. Please raise a glass this evening for him. Tell his stories. Speak your memory. Speak these truths, so that way they may flood this kingdom once again and blanket it in a glorious dawn. He deserved better than he got. And I will not let his name remain stained in the eyes of Fjordane. Thank you, Marcus Shaw.
How high up are we? I'm a conquest.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, you're probably like 100 feet up, to be honest.
That high up?
Maybe not that high. That's probably a little exorbitant. Probably 50 feet. Trying to pinpoint like where on the castle this would be, because like if it's too low, then people are just gonna like shoot the king if he comes down here. So
It's too high, they
probably
won't be able
50
to hear
feet.
him.
How high do you need to be? How high would you like to be for what you're trying to do? Because this is totally amorphous. Whatever you need, I'll make it work.
I think 50 is a solid height.
All right, 50 feet.
That should work if he falls first.
Suplex! No, and he looks at me and says, thanks, I would, my instinct would be to rush forward and embrace him.
Yeah.
And then stage
Yeah, he just kind of is taken back a second and wraps his arms around you, and the people of the city begin to cheer. Mm-hmm. Move the table!
Why are they cheering that?
Yeah, Marcus!
Alright. Yeah, no, after I look at my wood, pull back and thank you.
I told you that I would not let his name remain stained.
I appreciate you holding true to your word.
Of course. Friends, should any of these 6 people up here come into your taverns tonight, in your inns, give them a round on the kingdom, please. If not for their brave actions and action when none others would, we would still remain in darkness. Does he know your name, or does he not know the...
I don't think he does.
Okay.
And I'd probably be like, kind of shrinking back away from the back.
Sure. They are a magnificent people. More honorable than anyone I have ever met, the group of them. And he's going to kneel. And the rest, and hand you the wonder dice.
Please, no need to kneel.
And get a more stable shot this way.
And you watch as the rest of the city just begins to applaud and cheer for all of you. Mm-hmm. And Captain Emmerich rises once again. Thank you. Please go home. Please return to your homes, return to your day. While this ridding of the corruption is a wonderful thing for our kingdom, it is not a day to celebrate. A great many lives were lost. Bless you. Bless you all. And he's gonna turn and...
Mm-hmm. I think he needs a cape.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Well, this is different.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I don't feel like a king.
I think that's the sign that you're going to be a good one.
I certainly hope so.
I have faith.
Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you.
Thank you all for all that you've done. If there is anything that this kingdom can do for you, please don't hesitate to ask. If there is anything I can do for you. What the fuck was that?
I think it was Arthas.
Was it?
Oh yeah, he definitely looked like he fell.
There's a skeleton in the corner. Or the house is collapsing.
Yeah.
Either
Either
one.
way.
We'll all be skeletons soon. If there's anything that I can do for all of you. One thing I did wish to offer. Where will you go now?
Jondar's office to look for subsequent leads, and ideally then afterwards into the Kingdom of Arbor. We have reason to suspect that other individuals of the Black Flower family are present there.
Of course. I'll have some supplies and other things sent over for your journey. Something personal for all of you from the collection of Kingdom that
Thank you.
I hope will help aid you in your journey.
It is much appreciated.
Yes, I have to see what we have now that I have access to these things.
Yes.
I will find someone to escort you to John Dar's office, or his residence rather. If you'd like, you can wait in these quarters here. I'll be back in shortly. Or downstairs, wherever. We can go drinking.
Did when the previous king left, did he leave this like floor of the castle, or did he go into his quarters on this floor?
He just walked out. He is currently in the room behind you, just kind of sitting, like on a bench,
Yeah, no, I would.
waiting for the bus.
I mean, yeah, no, I'm gonna shake Emmerich's hand and I'll make sure that we stop to let you know what we find in Jondar's office after you find a squire to deliver us there.
Thank you. I would appreciate that.
I would like to speak one last time with Gerald Lowe III.
Of course.
Is he just like holding the blunderbuss?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would walk in his direction.
Sure.
You know, step like, obviously, if he's seated, step like literally in front of him.
Yeah, he'll look up at you. Mr. Shaw?
I think you did the right thing. An honorable thing.
Thank you, but I don't deserve the honor.
I agree. I would like to show you something. I mean, I'm gonna walk through the doors that we came through
Sure.
and descend back down ye old staircase into the throne room again, and ideally he follows me.
I gotta get up. No, yeah, he stands and places the blunderbuss sword back on the
The mantle.
on the seat and on a
I'm just gonna leave this gun here.
Well, I was gonna say, and a squire comes up and grabs it and takes it away, and he follows you downstairs.
Yeah, I would stand with him in front of the throne.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you know, there are the small stairs that house the actual platform that the throne would be on, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would stand at the bottom of those stairs looking at the throne.
Sure. Yeah, he stands and turns and looks at it with you.
Does it feel different from the other side?
Yes.
I think that's part of what you forgot.
I think you're right.
And I think the way to find your honor again is to ensure that you pass that message on to other people in this kingdom and kingdoms beyond.
I think it's all that I can do.
Sometimes failures are still important to learn from, and they can serve as important facets in the lives of others who might not have made that mistake, so this way they know to avoid it.
It's a big mistake to have made.
Yeah, genuinely, standing here, I would, actually now, remove my shirt, sincerely,
Sure.
and show him, the areas in which I was lashed.
Sure.
Was a big mistake, sir. Not only you paid the price for your mistake. I and the men in the graves outside paid that price. And you owe it to them and to me to do the right thing again, and to continue to do the right thing.
I will try to do what I can. I wish I had chose death.
I wish you had chosen to fight. And I think that's still where your mistake lies. You chose either surrender or to lose. There was another choice.
He's just gonna kind of like fall to his knees in front of the throne.
Yeah.
I didn't want this.
I don't think any person who does want this should actually have it. I think that the mistakes you made were because a burden that you were not prepared for was placed upon you. But you at least have taken steps to salvage said mistake. And ideally, in several years, Emmerich has helped to right the course of this kingdom. And you are serving on an esteemed council to provide what wisdom you do have to him and to others, and serve as a servant should. I would help him to his feet.
Yeah, he would.
Even against his will. If he, like, literally no assistance.
He would
Sure.
stand as you're helping him.
Mm-hmm.
I will do all that I can to serve this kingdom, as I have not in a very long time. Thank you, Marcus.
Killed my father the day you sentenced him away. You killed my mother the day you refused her people protection. You're welcome. turn and slowly walk out of the throne room.
Yep.
And I would wait for my friends outside in the large open courtyard.
Yeah.
Follow Marcus.
Okay. Everybody also going?
I would wait for the squire who should hence deliver us to John Dollar's estate.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the one who broke the plates?
Is this where all the people were gathered? For this
They were beyond the gate, but yes.
I'm going to take out my cloak and put my hood up.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Yeah, you guys you're all standing outside. If you'd like to have any conversations before said squire arrives, feel free. If not, he'll be here.
I would sit in whatever, like, cobblestone or dirt path in this courtyard there is that leads from keep to gate,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of sit there in silence.
What is there a visual indicator of who's the squire?
No, not yet.
Oh, I just mean like in general. Do squires have like a...
Oh yeah, they've got like the draped over like crest of Fjordane, like the...
They have a tunic and then they have like a tabard
Yes,
over.
yeah, they've got like a tabard over and they're wearing like a stupid hat.
Fetch boy!
I am a new knight.
Yeah.
I might need my clown squire.
Yeah. Anybody else? Anything?
I'm just gonna roll a cigar.
Yep.
I'm gonna work on making Drowsy Field Mouse look more like Drowsy Field Mouse.
Sure.
My disguise kit.
Yep.
Buff up some... Fix his eyebrows. I don't know.
Dandelion's just gonna watch Mr. Pigeon.
Sharpen the knife.
Slowly work, you know. Little makeup here and there.
Fiddle
See a
with my
tiny
new
hooded
daggers.
figure.
Sure. Yeah, you guys kind of stand here in relative silence for about 10-15 minutes, and through the castle gates from the street comes strolling the same squire that had dropped the plates and fled, and he just sees all of you and... Hello all, I am Edgar, and I would be pleased to take all of you to the estate of John Dar.
Thank you, Edgar.
You're welcome. It is right this way. I have a key.
You look pensive.
No. Just tired. No, everything is wonderful, my lord.
Why are you calling me my lord?
Well, you are all
My
guests.
God.
You are all guests of the king. Yes.
Marcus, do I have to keep playing the song?
Mm-hmm.
Keep playing the song as Edgar is.
No, everything is wonderful. It's a jubilant day. Right this way, please.
Might I incite the man who seems
Sure.
disturbed, unnerved?
Yep.
Whether it is
Anxious even?
you know, in relation to
For no
us
particular
or
reason.
the day. An 11.
Sure. Yeah, so you can see that as he is talking to you, he keeps side-eyeing the two of them and back to Mr. Pigeon and the zombie.
You mean?
Drowsy Field Mouse?
Yeah, you mean Drowsy Field Mouse, our good friend.
Yeah, our big friend, Drowsy Field Mouse, Mr. Pigeon, and Ren and Gear. And just... No, everything is rather wonderful.
I'm gonna grin at him while I fiddle with these daggers.
Yeah, and he just, he looks, like, right back at Marcus as you hear, like, slight clinking behind you. Oh, it is a jubilant day.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus, what
Right
does that
this
word
way, please. Means...
Day?
No, jubilant.
It's a frame of time.
I know what a day is.
You do?
Yes, I've been here many of those.
Ah, that's a good point. You have. I'm gonna use Divine Sense.
Hmm?
Celestial Fey Fiend Undead. Anything from this man?
Nope.
One Fae.
Yeah, one for one.
Oh, yeah, I mean Fey Undead for
One undead.
fucking zombie. Yeah, obviously.
one Fae,
Two
one
two
undead.
Fey.
What, is the undead shocking at all, or are you... Is that a concern to Marcus? This is new.
It's new.
There's definitely 2 new signals, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, you get 2 Fae, 1 undead.
Oh, Fey as well? Interesting. Okay. Sure. I feel like Marcus is a reserved and humble man. And would
Strangle the life out of him.
implicitly trust that whatever abomination is in my presence is well intended and designed.
Talk about Rin like that.
Look what you've done to her.
It's like when I screamed
I
that.
know. It's lore. It's a good one.
My eardrum.
I'm sorry. No, I would be very reserved.
This thing that you're trying to get Dandelion to trust.
Yeah, dude, it's dead.
It's a problem.
Fine.
Undead.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
It's like dead.
Mm-hmm. But good. I would just stand and look back at everybody and just gesture at the page boy. Just follow the little squire. Say nothing about this.
He leads you all through a gate in the side of the castle walls that leads into essentially where like the royals live for the city, kept separate from everything else in like a private quarter on the castle grounds, and he leads you past several very sizable houses that are decorated with various types of decor, over to a very large, like Gothic style manor, surrounded by a wrought iron gate. And he walks forward, and the guards that are standing at the front of it step aside and push these gates as they creak open.
They felt like they gave up too.
Hey! Come on in.
This is a thunder and lightning storm specifically around this one house.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
basically.
Okay.
And he walks onto the grounds, and as you're walking past, the guards just still standing at attention straight forward. Welcome to Broadmoor Manor.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
If you could open the front door.
He's got the key.
If he could open the front door.
He will, I'm sure, when you get there. Bit of a walk still.
How long you been doing this, friend?
Today or in general?
In general.
Just today.
What a take.
No, it's a new post. I'm just messing with you, sorry. Had to replace all the guards, obviously, after the incident.
After they died.
Well, and the ones that were, traitors and wouldn't give up.
Yes.
They're gonna die,
Yes.
but
They're going to die.
yes.
What a terrible fate.
Yeah, well,
Deserved.
oh, extremely well deserved, yes.
For terrible crimes.
Horrible crimes. Monsters, the lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
All this talk of death, you're going to make the squire uncomfortable.
He's
Gonna grin
already-
at him again.
Yeah, he's He just looks back and sees you all have stopped and just kind of like turns and looks at the house to not look near it and just at any of you at all. But then also hates the house, so he turns back around. He's just spinning in
I'm
place.
gonna finish my cigar and flick it at his boots while he's like spinning around.
Yeah.
We'll walk the rest of the way towards the squire.
Yeah. As you're walking, the guard reaches his hand up and puts it on your shoulder. Thank you for your service. Father was a good man.
I know. Much appreciated, thank you.
Very sorry for your loss. Pats you on the shoulder. Keep walking towards the squire, who from around his neck pulls like a very large brass key and hands it, just like waves it.
Like a
There
wand.
you go. That's the key.
You're going?
No, I'll be waiting outside.
Oh. You don't want to come in with us? Do you know the insides at all?
Yes. I'd rather. I could if
It'd be very helpful if you could direct us around.
Absolutely, of course. Yes.
Better than us aimlessly walking through an estate that we've never been in before.
You are absolutely right, my lord. I'm very
Sure,
sorry.
you'll be much safer inside also.
Yeah, we'll just have to
Yes,
make sure that we close
sure.
the door behind us.
Absolutely.
Oh, do you think there are traps?
No.
Secret
could
compartments,
There's
though.
probably secret compartments.
We should definitely keep an eye out for those.
It could be very deadly.
Possibly. I don't think so.
Look at it. I
Maybe
point at the
more
house.
so for some.
Yes, I don't really like it.
Yeah, right.
If I might have the key, if I'm to come in, and that way I can unlock the door and.
Oh, you want to walk in first in case there's traps? How very brave of you.
Usually I do that.
As is this squire's rule, of course. Yes.
Rule?
It is my duty and honor. The key, if you wouldn't mind. Thank you. And he walks up this, like, dark black wood staircase at the front that leads to a, like, wraparound porch at the bottom of this large manor, and walks up to a set of double doors and inserts the key, turns it, and you hear the lock click, and the doors. Ba-bam!
Hey!
The doors start moving. Hey, how you doing? It's a monster house.
Steve Buscemi's here.
Yeah. Terrible film. Yeah, and he just pushes the doors open and kind of stands aside, and as the doors crack open, he just like lets out a yell of just, ah! As you can see that there is a man in a full like butler outfit standing there as he pulls the other door open.
Hi.
I guess we didn't need the key.
No, there's a guy there.
He could have opened it.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hey. How are you?
Terrible.
Why?
Well, the resident of this home is dead, and I didn't know much about him, but I will be out of a job, unfortunately.
There's many other houses on this block. Why not work there?
I'm also sure somebody else is going to move into this house and you just work for the new person.
That's fair.
Another problem in Fjordane solved, friends.
Changing lives,
We're
really.
good at this. We'd like to come inside.
What is your business?
Looking inside.
Understandable.
I think we get to do what we
Suppose.
want.
Yeah. We're above the law now.
I pull out the blunderbuss that I stole from the king.
As a law keeper, I'm above the law now.
Yes. Well, right this way. My name is Bernard. Should you need anything, please do let me know.
Of course.
There are bells all around that you can just ring, and I will hear them from my
Spells everywhere.
my modest quarters. It's a whole system that you can call me at any time.
Are you also the chef, or is there a cook?
No, there is a chef. Should you request anything?
Mm.
Yes.
Are we staying here?
I mean,
Is this our house?
I mean,
Do we live here?
I like Bernard. You seem good, Bernard.
I'm very good, thank you.
Is he like a
But he's
is he
gonna
a
be
spooky
like, I'm
butler?
awful.
Like, are there cobwebs growing on him a little bit? Like, is he
Yeah.
Growing on
Yeah,
Growing.
Growing on him.
he looks like he fits in the house.
It was also about that time that we realized that Bernard had 8 legs.
Yeah, he's about like 6 foot tall, rail thin, like pencil mustache.
Victor Price?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. That's fine.
You said 6 foot tall, and like for a second I was thinking 7 foot tall. Like, that's a very
7
tall
foot
man.
frame, rats.
Rats.
No, 6 foot tall, like rail thin, full butler outfit with the curved like back flaps on his ass.
His ass pants.
Yep.
Are any of you hungry? I could have food brought up from the.
Absolutely.
Great. What would any of you?
Meals.
Wonderful. Very descriptive, my lord. Thank you.
Whatever it is the chef is in the mood for. Chef's choice.
The usual.
Chef's choice.
Anything from the wine cellar.
Sure. Yes, of course. The 2 of you, wonderful guests, and your third wheel. What can I get any of the 3 of you?
Milk.
Pointed.
Whole table.
For the whole table?
Whole table.
Sure,
Right,
sure.
now and pointed.
Wine? Sure. Just wine? All right, and just milk?
I would also like milk.
Yes,
I
she had
ordered
already
milk the whole
requested it for the
table.
whole table. Would you like
Thank you.
double milk?
Yes. Double milk.
All right, 2 shooters of milk.
Growing boy.
All right, and you,
I'm all right, thanks. Could you point me in the direction of your former master's chambers?
yes, they are right up these very large and tall stairs.
What
Just
year
gonna-
were the stairs?
Yeah,
Go straight that way.
very good. The dining hall is down the hall to the right. I'll ring all of the bells when food is ready. Wherever you are in this house.
Cacophony of noise.
Very good. And if
We
you
can
could just
reconvene.
bring the cook
Sure.
so this way I can thank them for their service.
Absolutely. I would love to.
And
Very much.
I would love for nothing more than to meet this esteemed cook.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Jesse! Enjoy yourselves. I'm gonna go.
have fun at my dead man's house.
Well, I'm going to go to the dining hall and relax, and you all are more the investigative, inquisitive types.
I'll look for secret compartments.
Yes. Good luck. Do your best. I'm going to go lie down on the table.
On the table?
Yeah.
I'm gonna proceed up the
and
first
it's my
flight of
house
stairs.
now.
You
It's like a
see,
chaise lounge,
you see
like,
Bernard
right-
poke his head out. My lord, if it would suit you, we have several spare bedrooms, couches.
Oh, yes.
Which of those?
A spare bedroom, please.
Sure, absolutely.
couch.
Immediately to your right here is a wonderful guest bedroom. I could
I'm the guest. I'm just going to walk in sure. Singing I'm the guest.
a bath, perhaps.
That sounds marvelous.
Wonderful. I'll have that
What is happening?
set up for you.
We're moving in. I'm like, there's no confusion here.
We'll be in shortly to bathe you, sir.
We can't afford this place.
What do you mean afford? We killed the owner. It's ours.
That's how ownership works, right?
Conquest.
Yes, conquest.
I'm gonna mentally command Drowsy Field Mouse to just dance until I come back, and then I'm gonna go up the stairs.
Ooh, perhaps he could assist me with bath.
Yeah, I'll nod and command him to do that. He's just gonna follow you, busted a move.
Yeah, he just walks towards you like.
Massaged in the tub by a corpse. Dungeons and Dragons.
Is that not what
like
happens
me.
normally?
That looks like Ren.
Yeah. It looks vaguely like Ren. As a
We'll
clown.
get there. It'll
Yeah.
be indistinguishable.
Yeah.
I hate this
Yeah.
so much.
Need
Is
haircuts,
everybody else heading
fine.
upstairs
I'm
to
gonna
the
begin
to
rolling
the
another
bedroom?
cigar and heading upstairs to the chambers.
I'll check the first floor.
Sure. And the squire's like, oh, there's no. Never mind. Right this way to the quarters, the bed chambers, as it were, as you requested. Yes.
I'm
Right.
already upstairs.
Right, you're already up the stairs. Oh my. You're going somewhere else?
I'm staying downstairs, and I'm going to immediately start checking every room for secret compartments.
Very good.
You said you're heading upstairs too.
How many rooms are downstairs?
Oh, there's several, probably 20 on this floor.
Every room.
Yeah. Make an investigation check for me, Daniel.
20 of them.
20. No. Just make one with advantage.
With advantage, you
With
say.
advantage, I say.
Someday, Sarah. Dungeons and Dragons, dice rolling. Someday they'll be kind to you.
10.
All right. I'll keep that in mind.
As average as possible.
What are the three of you doing?
Heading up to the chambers, and I guess I'm gonna start poking around, trying to look for clues.
Sure.
Going full Scooby-Doo in this investigation.
Very good.
Up. Yeah, I mean, I would look for a room, I guess, that isn't being searched by someone else. Maybe
Sure.
a study,
Sure. Yeah, you head to a study. You're heading to.
unless you're already in there, in which case
Yeah,
that's fine. I'm
I'd
interested
be
most in the
I'd
study.
be looking for, probably a study or something
fine.
like that.
Same
I'd be
room.
looking mostly for any correspondence that he would have had with anybody above him in the chain of command.
Sure.
Anything that might have locations or names or things of that sort.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and make a investigation check for me.
If I recall right, I did find something secret in his office, right? Was it a cipher or... I found something that made me tear a bookcase apart.
Yes, you had found.
page,
Yeah,
right?
you found a page that was describing information that they had gotten out of people about the Flame-Eyed One initially. There was also stuff about Greenridge with Benjamin's mother.
Yeah, I guess however that was hidden, I'd want to keep an eye out for that, since I would assume that might be a way he might try to hide information.
Sure.
I won't ransack this. We're not going to blow it up with dynamite afterwards. I'm not an animal.
Sure.
But I will...
We might live here.
We might. Still on the
dirty 20.
table.
Okay. Mr. Pigeon, same thing. Investigation check for me, please.
No. An 8.
Okay. Twig, what are you up to?
Where's the closest bell?
Closest bell. Immediately at the top of the stairs outside of one of the rooms, there's a bell.
Okay. What's it look like?
It is a small, like brass bell with a little, like, diamond encrusted, knocker thing to ring the actual bell itself. And you can see that it's hanging on the wall and is attached to a string that goes in to a little hole in the wall.
I'm gonna cut the string and take the bell.
Yep, very good.
And I wanna, go and look in, different rooms, but anytime I come across a bell, I wanna take it.
Okay, sure. Roll a d10 for me.
What's a fucking D10?
That one.
This one?
Yep.
5.
Okay, so you make your way through 5 rooms and take 5 bells. So you have 5 total gilded bells. Are you looking for anything else specifically in the rooms, or?
No, I'm just going through drawers or...
Okay. Can you make an investigation check for me?
$22.
22. Okay. And Gear?
So I'm heading up to his bedroom. I'm gonna go through his stuff. I'm gonna go about it the old PI style, looking at anything on his shoes, anything in his clothes, what anything smells like, and mainly looking to see if he's been traveling anywhere or he has anything in his room that would be of a foreign nature.
Sure, absolutely. Investigation check for me, please.
6.
All right. Very good. Okay. Mr. Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
Anything in the bedroom or the bath?
I mean, I would...
Tell me about your experience.
slowly disrobe.
Sure.
Right in front of this zombie.
Yeah, in front of the
Johnson
zombie.
Field Mouse is separated
This zombie cloud.
He's just flossing for 35 minutes straight.
non-stop stack leg.
Somehow, this is more enjoyable knowing that he's flossing.
No, I mean, I would, light some candles, and I've got blocks of incense that I would absolutely light, and, make sure that it's a nice warm tub, and
Yeah,
look back
it's
at...
almost too hot, like very, very
That's good.
warm.
That's what I need. And then look at the, zombie flossing.
The tub has been heated to your, I hope to your liking, sir.
Thank you.
Yes,
I'm
you're very well.
fully-
Yeah, absolutely. He's not looking down, he's looking right in your eyes.
You
His very
been doing this long, Bernard?
Yes, several years. 35.
35 for John Dar?
No, for John Doerr it's been about 15.
Who did you serve before John Dar?
That's a great question. I blacked out his name.
If I make it a habit of forget all previous
Toxic work environment.
Yeah, right.
You caught me on the last day before I forgot John Dar's name.
Just a second, let me think
Actively
about it.
scrubbing it from the memory.
Talifrey.
Talifay Philippe Du. No.
The traditional
Oh, no.
spelling.
Yeah, it's the regular spelling,
Archibald V.
He's cranking stanky legs.
Pewter.
No. I have a specific name. 1 second.
Tim Poster.
Timothy Poster.
That's part of the spell says he doesn't until he finishes his task. So he's just doing that until I come back.
Yep.
Nothing else. You can't even tell him to stop.
Yep.
My previous owner of this house was Horace Watts.
Did you know him quite well then? Served him for seemingly 20 years?
Yes. Just for clarity, since it's been a literal year or more. April 23rd, 2021 was the last edit of his documents, or probably around then. Horace Watts was, before his death, was the man that Murdoch told you was the go-between between the Shadowed Thorns and the Gilded Mask, and was known as the Overseer, is who that man was.
Is this the manor with the racetrack?
No, it would not. No.
Okay.
No,
I was gonna
it
say
wouldn't.
I had
came
him
into a
associated with
great
the
house.
racetrack manor.
No.
Okay.
No. That would be great, though.
As I say, we got a new idea.
Yeah. Right.
Hop on Bryn's back.
And what happened to Mr. Watts?
He passed away. Was killed, actually.
Oh,
Yes, an assassin broke in.
to this manor?
Yes. So I was told, anyway.
You weren't here when it happened?
No, I was out fetching supplies.
So he was murdered during the day.
Yes.
Brave thing to do. And did you find him when you returned?
I did, yes.
How was he killed?
In his bed, oddly enough.
How?
Oh.
Not
yes,
where?
in his bed.
By the bed.
He had been stabbed, but there were no visible wounds on him, but he had coughed up blood. That's what we were told later, is that he had been stabbed somehow.
How do you know he was stabbed if there were no wounds?
That's what we were told later. There was some sort of internal trauma.
Certainly.
When
So
they,
also possibly just poison then.
well, they had cut him open,
And found
like
lacerations
on the
inside?
yes. But
Puncture
nothing,
wounds.
puncture wounds, but nothing on the outside. Yes, very
All right.
odd.
It is quite odd.
Yes.
Why would anyone want Mr. Watts killed? Any idea?
I don't know. He was a wealthy man, traveled a lot.
Certainly.
Yeah, on the
How long after Mr. Watts was killed did Jandar move in?
About a week. Quick turnover.
Understood. Nice home.
Yes, can't sit for long either.
Yes. Jandar make many changes to the home after he bought it.
A lot of the decor, a lot darker. He added a room in the basement.
Right. Did he implement this bell system?
Yes.
Are there other rooms in the basement? You said added a room.
Yes, a sparring chamber.
Is what he added?
Yes.
What other rooms are in the basement?
There's my quarters, the sparring chamber, the kitchen.
You're adjacent to the sparring quarter.
Well, it's down a very large hallway behind a door, but
Alright.
yes, it's soundproof.
Soundproof sparring quarters.
Yes.
Okay. And then the kitchen is also in the basement?
Yes.
Is it
Soundproof.
is it on the opposite side of the sparring room
It's
or
next to my quarters.
next to your quarter?
But what's in the meat pies?
Okay. Now, in your service for Jandar, did it feel different at all compared to your service for Mr. Watts? Did Jandar ask you to do strange things? Obviously, you must know that he was implicit in horrific corruption inside of the city, and my cock's out, and I need you to tell me the truth.
I forgot Marcus was.
Nope, this whole interrogation is
Funny you
taking
mentioned
place
strange things.
fully nude.
Me and Mr. Jandar had
Right?
the same conversation.
Mr. Watts didn't love me. No, Mr. Watts mostly kept to himself.
And Jandar didn't.
Well, he just requested more things, running errands, fetching things. Obviously, the bell system I needed to be available at a moment's notice should he need something.
Certainly.
Things of that nature.
Were you Mr. Jandar's courier whenever messages needed to be delivered, or did he have a courier for this task?
No, I was his courier.
Did he typically have correspondence with a grouping of people?
Not in particular. The letters were always unmarked.
Okay.
I was informed never to open them, obviously.
Would you be delivering them to homes or businesses?
Oh, these were mostly letters that were coming in. He would
Understood.
send correspondence out as well, but they were delivered mostly to people.
Outside of Greymoor?
Usually within Greymoor.
Okay.
At least that's... I would hand the letters to people, and they would be taken elsewhere. I never delivered them to their endpoints.
Alright. Are you sure? Because they weren't addressed. You wouldn't know whether or not they were the end point.
I suppose you're right.
You could have been told it was not the end point, but it might have been.
Yes, a lot of the time it was to one man towards the castle gates. I simply assumed that they might be leaving the city, but you're right, they could be going to this person.
Was it a guard or someone else?
Someone else.
Someone who worked inside of the...
I'd never seen them before other than this. I don't recognize them. I don't think they were a royal or higher up.
And you have no name?
No, I can give you a...
Description?
I might have a name. I'll have to check my things. I apologize. It's been some time since he sent some correspondence.
No, if you have a journal or anything that you do for yourself for keeping records, that information would be very helpful for us, Bernard.
Yes, just a moment.
And after my bath, I would love to see the sparring room and perhaps your quarters as well.
Sure.
Hey.
maybe I'd like to fight him.
And then also see his quarters.
Right?
You guys have gotten really close in this moment. You know, you, pants off, him in the room.
Yeah.
Direct eye contact.
He ran me a bath.
Clown dancing.
Clown dance.
A boogie zombie.
Rhythmically in the corner flossing. This man has every reason to trust me.
I'm gonna teach him to play an instrument.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Slide into the tub. Maintaining eye contact. You know, really pose for a moment, my arms wide, my shoulders broad and extended. Looming towards him. And then sink slowly and slide. You know how to draw a good bath, Bernard.
Thank you.
He's just standing there thinking.
Man's name was Maradime. Maraddeim. Elvish man. About 6'3".
Mm-hmm.
Blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
White hair.
Mm-hmm.
Scar across his cheek. Always wore a grey hooded cloak.
Yes, I was about to ask how he was dressed.
Yeah, grey hooded cloak, 2 leather bands on his arms. Like a dark grey, the cloak.
Yes.
Blacks and greys. Rode a black horse. Would come into the city, fetch the letter, and leave. He'd never said a word to me other than his name the one time.
Excellent. Now I'm assuming that John Dar would have had to have a letter prepared. There must be means or reasons for this person to arrive to receive a letter.
I would imagine so, yes.
Thank you, Bernard.
Of course.
Oh. Going to enjoy this marvelous bath you've run and look forward to that milk and meal.
Yes, absolutely. I'll signal when it's ready.
Thank you, Bernard.
You're welcome.
Sink into the old tub.
Mm-hmm.
Before he leaves, I'm going to divide sense.
Sure.
Second. You're good.
There's an undead clown dancing in the corner of the room.
I have to make sure that it's the clown. Celestial Fiend Undead. Or whether or not anything is affected by the Hallow spell.
You would get 2 targets of undead.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm. All right. Twig, you're stealing all the bells. You got 5 whole bells. Let's see. What order do I want to resolve these things in? Right. Twig. Let's go with Ren. Go around. So you are in the study, right? And you were looking for correspondences that he might have had with people.
Specifically, people that would have been in charge
Yes,
of them.
important.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so you walk around this study, which seems to be organized similarly to how his office was, with bookshelves on the sides, a large desk at the back. And you peer around this room and you can see that same symbol is carved into the ceiling that had been carved into the ceiling of his office. The room is lit with torches that were lit when you entered, that are not very bright. It casts kind of almost like a fireplace glow over the room. There's no windows in this particular room. And you search around and you look through these books and look through these stacks of letters, and you don't seem to find anything initially that strikes you as of interest. It just seems like very mundane correspondence with people outside of the city, or people within the city. Not so much business, so much as like things that he might have brought home, in terms of additional like propositions for bills of sales and things like that. And as you're kind of moving this stuff around, you notice that there is a marking in the floor at the foot of one of the desks that if you had been sitting in the seat, you might almost be able to like click at the back of the front of the desk with your foot. And you move your hand towards it and kind of feel the groove along the floor, and you press down, and the bottom of the desk folds down. And inside you can see are two letters, both of which have been opened, that are laying flat on the inside of this underside of this desk. The first of which is addressed to John Dar from Lady Arin Blackflower, and describes. I guess I wouldn't say this out loud. I'll send you what it is, because I think that's probably
You want us
better.
to leave?
I mean, I gotta pee anyway.
Sure.
Just so the people who are watching
Yep.
know what the letters
The
have.
next person that I call in will be Mr. Pigeon, so when I press the lights, or
Sure.
I guess I won't, I'll just send Lawrence out and call in.
Get out!
Get out of here.
Isildur, destroy it.
So this is a person that you were obviously familiar with. This letter is directed to John Dar from the city of Ardale in Arbor. And it describes, which I'll give you the exact text of, but as far as description, it describes a project that she had been working on within the city that had come to fruition, a project that would assist in the destruction of a very powerful magical entity.
Like, does it seem like she's talking about it generically, or is she talking about something specific? So, like, if it says, like, I've completed a project that will assist in the destruction of something of great power, or is
Sure.
it that thing you know about?
It's the thing he knows about.
Sure.
Yes, it's
Does she say it
what?
in the letter?
Yes.
What it is?
Oh,
Does she reference it in any capacity beyond that powerful thing that you know?
sure. Yeah, just give me.
Yeah, if you don't have
No, for
words
sure,
for it right
for
now,
sure.
just like any words
Sure.
that she might use, even if they're indirect.
Sure.
Because this is a person that I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yes. She would call it the reflection.
the reflection.
Yes.
She
would say that her project had come to fruition, and that this project would allow them to defeat this magical entity, the reflection.
Okay. Do I know what that is? From anything that I may have heard in my time. This Lady Arin is the wife of the particular Black Flower patriarch whose home I literally lived in. Correct? Okay.
Yes.
So I would know this person very directly.
I would say
in
that
one capacity or another.
Sure, yeah. You would obviously know who they were. I would say the majority of the interactions in terms of directives would obviously have come from Jandar specifically.
Sure.
You would not have been allowed to really address them directly. As sort of a I am aware that this is going on, but I don't want to be aware
Sure.
that this is going on. You obviously would have seen and overheard a great many things in
Yes.
their household. I would say that you would not have heard of the reflection specifically,
Okay.
but you would have heard her, the patriarch of the house, and the elder Fivril Blackflower on one of his visits discussing his efforts to breach something in order to obtain a powerful artifact.
Okay. Would I have any reason to believe that anything that I may have been assigned to might have either directly or indirectly been related to this sort of task at any point? Anything that maybe didn't make sense at the time, that maybe more logically it's oh, maybe that's what they were trying to do there.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where in one scenario it'd be go burn that guy's house down, I want him to drop out of this election.
Correct.
Something less direct than that, that's
Yes.
why the fuck am I doing this?
Yeah.
What's this even for? It's also totally fine if the answer is no. I'm just asking.
Yeah. Just let me look through the things here.
Because, I mean, in my timeline, I was there a long time.
Yes.
About 17 years.
Yes. I would say that one of your dealings with the elvish alchemist would have possibly been related to that.
Okay.
Not the one that's listed here with the iron mine, but one of the other dealings with. So not something that you did directly, but one of the things that you delivered to him.
Sure.
Which would have happened after this meeting.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so she says, we've done the thing that'll let us do the thing. Anything else in this letter? Locations, meet us in X place at X time. Anything of that nature? Any coded messages that are not directly written?
Sure. The only thing that is coded in this message is the location of where they are, which is in Ardale.
Okay.
That's the only thing that is coded. The rest of this, I think, was intentionally written for his eyes only, but not missively, because it is rather cryptic generally. Yeah. That it's not, giving direct details for things. It does not list a location of when to meet, where to meet. It just says, talk soon.
Any indicator of how long ago this may have been written?
Sure.
I mean, I wouldn't know how long he had been in the city necessarily.
Sure.
But I mean, if he had been in the city any longer than the last 5 years, then I would have at least known that he was not constantly at their home.
Yes, which you would have. He had been there for longer than that, where there were periods where Jondar would leave.
And was gone
for a period of time before he would return.
Sure. About how far back in my memory would that have begun? Because it was super early on that he would have been training me specifically.
Yes.
And I imagine during that time he would not have been leaving regularly.
Yep. It would have been the entirety of the time, with the exception of your initial training process.
He would have been.
He would have been there, but otherwise he was there very frequently. But there were periods where he would leave for 2 or 3 weeks at a time and then come back.
Sure.
But
sure.
Yeah.
So does this? I mean, it was in a compartment in this desk. And there's one other letter, and I will read that one also. But I guess if I can't gauge from this one alone, if I can gauge from if the other one has further information or a deviation in the information that might hint as to a time frame. But I would try to gauge how old this letter is, or if the sealing wax for it is fractured and pieces of it are still on the desk somewhere or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just 1 second. I would say that the ink on this letter is from your inspections of other missives and things. As you were trained to do, this letter was very recent.
Okay.
As in maybe a few months at most.
Okay, within the past year.
Yes, absolutely.
For
Yes.
sure within the past year, as recently as within the last couple months.
Yes, for sure within the last year. Exact number of months, obviously, it's very hard to tell, but absolutely within this past year.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I guess what's in this other piece of parchment that's underneath in this? Definitely a secret compartment.
Yes. Yeah, in the other letter that you unfold here, this letter by age is much, much older. This is probably more than 10 or 15 years old. This is the parchment has kind of like formed those creases and almost cracks a little bit as you unfold it. And the ink has even faded a little bit from this. And this one is coded, and you are able to decipher it. That this is another letter from Fevrel Blackflower that describes essentially the process, which, let me pull this up 1 second.
Sure.
It's essentially instructions for Jondar's setting up of the corruption within the city, for establishing pipelines to funnel gold ore from Green Ridge to Southport.
Sure.
And then from those boats down into Arbor.
Sure. Is there any piece of this directive that we have not discovered yet?
Sure. I would say that the piece about, you knew that like ore was being smuggled somewhere and weapons were obviously being moved around.
We backtraced a lot of this stuff to here.
Yes. The only piece I would say that is new is the fact that the ore itself, the ore and the gems that were being funneled out were going to Arbor specifically. Because that at the time was not apparent.
Okay. I mean, I guess I personally, unless I would think otherwise from what this says,
Sure.
I would assume that that was funding toward whatever they were attempting to accomplish that she's now saying they've accomplished in Arbor.
Sure. Yeah, I would say that's...
feel reasonable, and there's nothing in this that would necessarily lead me to believe otherwise.
Yeah, there's nothing... these are more instructions of, like, pipelines to set up and things. There's not really details about what any of the things will be used for.
Right.
So it's possible that it's funding. It's gold and gems, so
Sure.
it could be anything, but that's a fine assumption to make.
Now, all of this setup sounds like pretty standard fare for the type of work that he had, that they, relatively speaking, had me doing in other places to seize power, move power.
Yes, correct.
It's textbook. It's,
Yes.
You're going to pull this string over here, and it's going to do this, and it's going to get so-and-so to do this, and
Correct.
then you're going to take this seat from that guy, and
Yes.
you're going to funnel the money over here, and that's going to get us the support we need to do the other thing.
Correct.
It's very...
Yes.
This feels like school.
Yes.
Like,
For you, yes, absolutely
Sure.
it does.
Sure. I guess, having found a secret compartment on this desk, I'd be looking for if there was any other such. I mean, I worked for this family. I was trained by this person. I've now found a compartment in this desk. I'd be looking for anywhere else that I would suspect he might hide something like this.
Sure.
If not for letters or anything, just anything that he would think to hide.
Sure.
Just trying to use my knowledge of who he was, who he worked for, and try to find, not knowing what he would have hidden, just try to find anything that he would have felt it necessary to hide.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know how far behind me Mr. Pigeon was, but
He would have been, I think, in another room. I think he said he wasn't going to go
Okay.
to the office since you were in there. Because he had said if you were in the bedroom, he was going to go to the office. So
I got the impression he was going to the study whether or not I went there, but I don't know
okay.
if that's necessarily true.
okay.
If you wanted to pull him before I leave, or if you wanted me to check with him
Sure,
and,
yeah,
and
we
come back
can
if he
check,
ended up in here at the same time or whatever.
Yeah. Sure. So the other thing that I would say that you, as you're searching through these bookshelves and this thing, there's nothing else that's like hidden the way that this was, but you would find on a bookshelf a small wooden box about yay big with golden like the little feet that go on the bottom of chests,
Okay.
the like club like clawfoot feet. And as you flip open this box, as you see what's inside, you are immediately hit with a wave of not fear, but like just a wave of memories and like almost terror that washes over you a little bit, because what is inside here is a fragment of glass that is shaped into the form of a dagger. Blood dried on the edges of this, and you have the
A vivid memory of holding this.
vivid memory of holding this, and you see the face of the man that you took down with this,
The first one.
the first one, when you were created.
Sure. Do I know if he ever trained anybody else like me? Did he ever speak of anyone? I
He-
didn't meet anybody else.
He would have spoken. I don't think he would have mentioned specifics, but you would have found traces of other people having been there before you.
But like me.
Like you.
Specific, like the way that he was like me.
Sure. I would say
So, like, absolutely, he definitely trained other people to
Yes.
do the sorts of things that I did.
right. I would say that the regard that he held for your capabilities and what he had created, it would be highly unlikely that he had trained anyone else like you, as you were very likely the first. Either the first success or the first at all.
Sure.
Given the process that you went through, unlikely that you were the first. But the regard that he held for you would make you think that you were the first success.
Or at least what he would consider.
At least what he
success.
would
Sure.
consider a success.
Okay, so it would be proper to get the impression based
Absolutely.
on how this thing is boxed and where it is. It's effectively on display
Yes.
that he cared about this.
Yes.
Either as a personal triumph or whatever. For
Yes.
some reason, he cared about this.
This. And kept it. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that I would pocket, and even if somebody else were entering the room, I would pocket that quickly.
Sure.
If somebody else were to begin walking into the room as I was discovering that, I would
Yep.
swiftly
Sure.
get that put away. And I would collect myself. He's got bookshelves. I'd scan the titles while I'm in the room for anything of interest. Anything that might be of interest. I don't know. The one letter's talking about magical entities. And talking about breaching through somewhere to somewhere else. I don't know a lot about the Feywild, but I know the Dandelion's looking for things. I'd look for if there was any books or anything that might have been used for research on the Feywild or artifacts or something. You know what I mean? I'd look for... I found what I came in the room for. I'd look for my friends if there was anything of importance or potential importance to them in this room, as it seems like perhaps the Blackflowers are up to more than just rising in political power.
Sure, yeah. I would say that there would be, amongst the rest of these books which don't seem of much importance, there is a book on like, portals.
Sure. I would take it.
Sure.
And then, like I said, if Mr. Pigeon was coming into this room...
if you want to check. If he is, you can both come back. If not...
send him wherever he's going.
If he is coming in, if you can send Dandelion first, and then I'll have the two.
And then you'll have her come
Yeah,
back
so that
out
way I
and
can
we'll come back
rotate
in.
through. Yeah. If he's not, then just send him.
Then send him.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hello, everyone. It's just me now. He's a well-dignified zombie or vampire, exactly. It's hard to say which.
I am surprised.
Mm-hmm. Why?
You said pigeon.
Well, yeah. I thought he was going to a different room. But since they're coming back together, I'm going to rotate through everybody else first.
I am here.
You are downstairs going through rooms.
Going through rooms.
Looking for secret compartments, looking for things.
Looking for things and stuff.
Sure.
Escape room style, running my hands along
the
bottom of every table. Pulling books on shelves. Lifting up couch cushions.
Just have to I've been pulling up everybody's notes and things so that way I can
And I did, I believe, roll, what was it, a 10?
Yes, you rolled a 10. That's correct. I can't free CMS, I'm very sorry.
It's cold in here with nobody in here.
I know. There's the document. Okay. In one of the spare bedrooms, as you walk around this lower floor and start running your hands along bookshelves and
checking floorboards.
Checking floorboards and things like that. Floorboards, you look for cracks, and you find you push on one of the floorboards and there's a little mouse that pops his head out from when you push the floorboard up on an area where there's a little crack where he pops out, and he just sniffs your hand cautiously. He pops into your hand.
This is mine now.
Yeah, you just have a little mouse. So you can keep him. And you go around and you find little, like, you know, candies and things like that had fallen off of, like, behind a shelf, and you're just like, ooh, a thing. And, you know, because you're searching for, like, any hidden thing that you like mark that down of, like, check, found something in this room of, like, you know, Dandelion feels like very accomplished from having found these things. But in one of the spare bedrooms, you're feeling along the sides of the drawers, and you can feel that on, you pull open the drawers, and you can see that it seems like there should be something below the lowest drawer. Like, it seems like it's not low enough. And you feel along, and you don't feel anything, and you feel along the sides of the outside of this cabinet, and you can feel that there's, like, almost like a scratch mark where you can, like, almost run your nail in. And you follow it to the base of the shelf, and you find two little, like, almost buttons carved into the side of this that are basically imperceptible to your eye, but you can feel that they're there. And you give a little push, and this drawer that you had opened like gets drawn backwards, and you are left with an opening in this false bottom of this drawer that you had pulled out. And inside you see several candles that had been burned down almost to like little nubs about this height, in little small like clear green glass, blue and orange glass candlesticks, like the little candle holders. There's one blue one and one like orangey yellow one, and you hold them up to the light, and you can see that it reflects the light, but there's just these small candles inside of this, these two different colored glass holders. And there is a very old, like, folded piece of paper, like a letter, inside. And it looks like it had been opened more than once. There's creases along the edges. There's little rips in the, like, micro rips in the pages where it's been cared for. And you can see that on the back of this, as you pull it out, there's like make a perception check for me.
Did I say my perception was +4?
Yes, I think so.
So 13.
Okay. So you can see that on the back of this letter, there's like smoke marks on the back of the on the back of the letter, as if that you see smoke on the back of this letter. As you unfold it, the side that there would be words, there's nothing. And on the flip side, there is just markings of not like charred, like burnt, but just smoke that has like stained the back of this paper.
Like soot that's like drifted upwards.
Yes.
I'm gonna cast dancing lights and hold the letter up to the dancing lights.
Yeah. So you cast dancing lights and you hold
paper.
You hold this paper up to these lights, and you feel like you should be able to see through the paper, because it's just paper, but your light doesn't penetrate the paper. You can't see your dancing lights. You can see it leaking out from the sides, but you can't, for some reason, see your light through it.
Is there anything left of the candles?
Yes.
Ooh, idea. Hold, please. Hold. Man, pseudo dragons don't breathe fire. Are there any matches or anything in the drawer?
I would say that you absolutely would have found like a set of matches that had fallen behind.
Light one of the candles. I'll light both of the candles.
Okay. You light both of these candles and you set them on the ground. And as you light the first one, do you light the orange or the blue first?
Orange.
You light the orange one and it illuminates with what looks like a normal flame. And as you ignite the blue one, it ignites with a blue flame.
Mm-hmm. Hold the letter.
Yeah. So you hold this letter out over these candles, these two lit candles on the ground with this colored flame. And where you had not seen light penetrate through the letter before, you now see things start to appear on the page. You see writing start to appear, not as if it's being written, but just start to fade in from this candlelight, from this heat, from the smoke hitting the back of this paper. And it says... I'll have to give you the exact specifics of the reading of the letter because I would like to physically write it out.
Yes.
So I will read you the specifics, but as a general summary of what is in this letter, it is directed to John Dar, and at the bottom of this letter, you see the same symbol that the pale elven man that stole Oberon's mirror at the bottom of this paper, and written next to it are the words, "The Guild of Olden Deus," which I will spell for you in a moment. Guild is guild, and then Olden Deus is OLDENDEUS. And the name above that is the name Helena, HELENA, Ashwell. And the letter describes a particular object that the guild is looking for. And it speaks about the fact that John Dar's colleagues are working with them in order to find this object, and that they would like to accelerate the timeline.
It doesn't specify what the object
It does not
is.
specify what the object is. It is just referred to as the artifact.
Is there a date on it?
Um,
Does Dandelion know what day it is?
Dandelion does not know what day it is, and I would say that there is not a date.
Okay.
This is a very old letter.
Oh, it's old.
It's old. Yeah, it's because I had described like the creases and the like fragmenting of the paper of like it had been opened more than once, and it had been like it's been a while since it has been opened.
And I guess the it's been read many times.
Yes, which I'll give you the exact specifics of the letter to look over, but that is the general gist of its contents.
How far into my search would this letter have been?
I would say this was probably the last room that you stopped in.
Then I'm going to blow out the candles. scoop them and the letter up, and right before I do that, write out the contents of the letter on a piece of parchment.
Sure.
With, I guess, like a piece of.
You've got stuff to
it's
write
like,
with.
like a crayon or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, you've got things to write
you
with.
You know, something that I have.
Yeah.
But just copy the contents of the letter.
Sure.
And run to go find Marcus.
Okay. Very good. Can you send in Endgear, please?
Yes. Goodbye.
Hello.
Hello. My knees hurt.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Yeah.
And I'm standing.
Yeah.
Okay, remind me what room you went into?
I am in his chambers.
In his chambers, like
in
his bedroom.
In his bedroom. Yes.
Bed boy.
Bed boy. Take a nap, you know.
And you're looking for...
I'm digging through his stuff looking for, like, tactile evidence of, like, his travels type things. Yeah,
Sure.
Wait, tactile. Any sort of, like, specific types of mud on his boots, on his clothing, certain, like, herbs or things of a foreign nature that would prove that he was traveling somewhere south or something like that.
Sure.
Something I can track with.
Sure, absolutely. So you would walk into this chamber, and this is a big, like, 4-poster tall bed with the like posts that go up and cover the bed. Very ornate, carved dark wood, like everything in this house. And the canopy of this bed and the blanket below it are all made of like furs that have been stitched together, like numerous animal furs that have been stitched together. And you walk into his closet where all of his clothes are and things, and you start picking through his clothing and looking for traces of travel of things like that. And most of his clothing is fairly immaculately cleaned, immaculately kept. The shoes are polished to almost to a shine. Make another investigation check for me. Or perception, whichever's better for you. I imagine they're the same, though.
Throw these dice out tonight. That's a 7.
Okay. So, amongst the immaculate clothing, in a lower drawer, in one of these shelves, you can see that there is a lock on one of the drawers. It's a very low DC to see that, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're good.
Is it a thicker padlock or a thinner, like, the diary-style padlock?
It's a padlock.
Okay.
Not one that you couldn't, like, beat off, I'm sure.
Well done! Well, I'm gonna beat off this lock.
Yeah, you are.
That is a natural 20.
Very good, yeah. So
I beat off this lock.
with which weapon?
With my fist.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
You just sideways, you slam into this lock, and it just shatters and falls to the ground in pieces. The mechanism explodes out from it and just clangs across this wooden floor and skitters around. And you pull open this drawer, and you can see that there is a set of black robes, black boots, 2 leather armbands that look about wrist-sized, not your wrists, but wrist-sized. Like black, almost like militaristic, not quite combat boots. They're very
Like dressed military type, like cavalry boots?
yes, almost like cavalry, like captain's boots. They're like black captain's boots. With you can see that the buttons on these boots, on the side of the boots, similar to like my pirate boots that I have, but they are like a tarnished wrought iron black to match everything. Everything in this drawer is black. And it is the only thing that is not cleansed like the rest of this room. And you find that there are herbs and flowers tucked into the lining of this boot. And I would say for you that you would recognize that these have not been worn in quite a long time. Given Jondar's position in the city and the rate at which his corruption had accelerated, it's unlikely that he would have left the city recently. Mm-hmm. But you would recognize that the types of grasses and herbs and things would have come from the elvish kingdom Yathalna across the Mistlands, which you yourself are familiar with, having been taken there at one point. Nothing to you definitively screams, even with the dirt on the bottom of the boots, that it had come from the south. But again, these had not been worn in quite some time.
Okay, so herbs that would be of the Yathalna origin. Alright. Trying to think, like walking around a bedroom where stuff would be hidden.
Sure.
Fuck it, I said Scooby-Doo earlier. Let's go look under the bed.
Hey. Yeah, make one of those checks for me.
See, now these dice are rolling hot. That's an 18 on the die.
Yeah.
Plus 4.
Sure. Are you looking for anything specific in this instance, or are you just looking?
In this, I am just looking.
Sure. I would say that you find a small black-bound journal tucked into, like, how the bed is framed, where it's like the slats of the bed and then there's the side pieces tucked up into the corner of one of the side pieces, almost invisible because of the dark wood. With a high roll is a black-bound journal. The edges of the pages also painted a dark black color to functionally make this invisible in where it sits. But you feel along and you find this journal.
Gonna go ahead and flip that open. Take a peek.
And inside you find this book from start to finish, probably about 100 pages, small, about this size. The word Nox, N-O-X, with a capital N, written over and over again, starting very strongly in terms of the script and the filigree in which it is written, and towards the end of the book transforming to a different handwriting by the end, as if you could follow the steps in which it changed from one set of handwriting to the other, as almost if it was written by a different person. if you didn't see the steps from it changing from one to the other.
Like if I just went first page to last page, it looks like two different people were
Right.
writing it. But if I flip through,
You can see
There's
it change from
progression.
one to the other, correct. Almost like a flip book where you can see the progression of things happening. You can see little pieces of each bit of handwriting in the signature. In this word.
and you said it was N-O-X?
N-O-X, capital N.
Gotcha. Like a name.
Yes.
Interesting. Does there appear to be anywhere in the room where it looks like he would sit for a nightcap of any sort?
Yeah, there's a small table and chair and actually like a whiskey decanter and glass.
Yeah, I'd head over there and take a sniff of that, and if it smells any good, probably just grab the decanter and bring it with me back
Yeah.
out to the hallway.
Yeah, this is high quality stuff.
Good shit. Got it. Yeah. I think after finding those two things, if there's anything else that raises any suspicion here for anybody else, I would relay the information once we meet back up, and if they want to take a look, they can take a look.
Very good. Can you... Sorry, anything else?
Under the bed, upon, like, first looking under, did it look like there was any, like, sigils or anything carved into the floor?
No, nothing carved into the floor.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who do you need? Who you want?
Can you send in Mr. Pigeon? The only thing that you would have noticed is on the ceiling there was a symbol carved, like a magical seal. Very lightly carved into the ceiling. Almost invisible to the naked eye.
Gotcha.
Yep. And if you can send in Mr. Pigeon and Shay, because
Gotcha.
they were going into the same room. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
CMS is just me and you again. You may want to beat off a statue, but others aren't into that. Listen, I don't speak for anyone. Oi. What's up, Luna?
It's the dream team.
Oh, I know you're here, Luna. I was just tormenting CMS because he was very upset that it was he and I alone. All right. Mr. Pigeon, you would have gone directly to the office?
Yes.
Okay. I would say that he would have come in prior to you finding the second thing, but likely would not have noticed you finding it. But if you would like to have a conversation when Mr. Pigeon walks in, that's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, so if he was walking in as I was reading over the letters that I found, I mean, you're coming in here, you're looking for stuff also, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So as he starts browsing, looking about the room, I would, when I stand up from the desk, having read the second letter, I'd pass the first one to him.
Sure.
Since that one's not
Coded.
really coded in any sort of way.
Yep.
Okay.
So the letter that that Ren passes you is from Lady Arin Blackflower,
Okay.
which is not a name that you recognize.
Okay.
And it functionally says that her project has come to fruition, is working, and that it will allow them to destroy a magical entity known as the Reflection.
Okay.
Did I say anything else? Which will...
in relation to that,
Yes.
that's in the letter, no.
That was pretty much it, right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
pretty much it.
Yeah, that's what that letter says. The implication being that John Doe obviously knows what this is, and this is something that he was either aware of or a part of.
Okay.
Well, I guess as it looks like you're getting done reading it, I would say it seems like that one was recent. At least within the last year, possibly as recently as a month or two ago.
I would I'd cast silence in the doorway
Sure.
and clear my throat and
Yep.
confirm, read it again, look over it, and say I don't know anything about this, and I don't know this name.
She's Black Flower by marriage.
Yes.
So she's the wife of Fivrel's
Grandson.
grandson.
What was the name?
Arryn.
Arryn. Arryn. Black Flower. Yes,
Wife
by marriage, correct.
of...
Fivrel's grandson,
Corym.
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 And if you didn't say specifically, you did say that the letter stated that they were in Ardale.
Yes, that was the
In
only piece
Arbor.
that was coded, which is why I didn't
Sure,
say
I
it.
would say that.
Sure, yes. Yeah, they are located in Ardale in Arbor.
Okay.
And I'd point to the bit that's coded and say that that's what that says.
Yeah. So then I would think for a moment and say I don't know this branch of the Black Flowers, but you seem to know the Black Flowers a little more than I thought. You mentioned being in their home in, is it Oldlisolor?
It
Was it the other one?
It was in Yathalna.
Or it was the one in Yathalna?
Correct. The Black Flower
I know I asked,
home
I didn't
that I
write it.
lived in was in Yathalna. And do I have a city name for where that was? Is it Avabel?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I would tell you as
Yes.
much.
Okay, so then that's...
You would also, just again a reminder, you would know about their history in the other Elvish kingdoms.
Yes.
Sure.
So then, yeah, I would... knowing that, I would say I'm not familiar with their manor in Yathalna.
Yes, well, Fivrel visited on occasion. That is who you're looking for, yes?
Very much so.
This other missive, though it is older, is from Fivrel. Coded, but it does seem to indicate that he was involved in seeing Jondar's rise to power here. And the materials that we found in the mines, the gems and ores, I have reason to believe from this note that they were being sent to Arbor, perhaps for the purposes of that other missive there. It's possible that he'd be there, and if not, that they there would know where he might be.
Seems like a worthwhile guess to me. A way of making Black Flowers talk. We certainly find out. And I would double check one thing in the old digital notes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then I would gesture toward my wrist and say, I didn't I wasn't aware how close we were getting, but at this point, I'm assuming Jandar was associated, and I would point at my wrist and say, with the Nullapot. Did you know them? Did you work with them? Know about them?
He was the head of that organization, correct?
That is correct.
He led the Nullapot. I imagine aside from being trained by him, possibly worked directly with him or other members of that organization for some of the things that I was sent to do.
Yes, I would say that you would not have been given names of any of the other members, but yes, you would have interacted with other members of the Nullapot and known their function.
Yeah.
Sure. So I'd just make some sort of religious gesture, like, send this guy to hell or whatever. Yeah. Something damning, and say, well, then it's, good he's in the ground. Believe it or not, the Nullapot are harder to find than black flowers sometimes. Very secretive. I don't know a lot about them.
I can imagine why that would be. Perhaps sometime when we're more free to speak, I could fill you in on all that I know.
I would nod along and say that's definitely now might not be the time, but I appreciate the heads up, and Arbor seems good.
Yes. It would be good for you to know what I know. Perhaps there's something there. It was my life, but you're on a hunt. Anything could be a track.
Yeah, I would nod along and say a hunt I hope to see finished sooner rather than later. Be nice to freely dust out the old vocal cords.
Yes, well, for now it seems that the rest of them are on board with heading to Arbor. And that lines up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Perhaps our new friend will find other pieces that can land us a bit closer to your target.
I would nod and say I was a little worried about him when he mentioned tracking us, but I don't think he knows anything.
I imagine he knows you're a clown.
I hope that's all.
Yeah, and while he was reading the first letter is when I would have stashed the other thing.
Yep.
Not much else here.
Yeah, seeing that, I see the desk opened. And
yeah.
So I'd say I imagine there's probably not much more hidden than that.
Yeah.
This is essentially what I was looking for anyway. I'd pass it back to you.
And I would take out 2 pieces of gold and put them in the secret compartment and fold it back up and slide the desk a little bit so the button is more visible.
Sure.
And then be good for Dandelion to find that, I think.
She'll probably like that.
Point her in that direction if we come across her.
Yeah, that would be good.
Very good.
And and then I'd gather myself and grab the book that I found on the shelf and head out the room to try to find Dandelion to point her at this secret compartment.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll drop silence on the doorway.
So the only thing that, Mr. Pigeon, with your 8 that would catch your eye is when you walk in and you're kind of like looking over the bookshelves as you're talking with Ren, is you would see a black book that kind of sticks out from the others a little bit. There's no title written on the back of them. You pull it off, full-size book, and you flip open it, and you can see that there is something that has been like carved into the book, a space for something, and inside you see a holy symbol for Shar.
Okay.
That is immaculately polished, like shining. You could see your reflection in it.
Okay. Yeah, I would pop that out of the book there and give it a look over. And I guess not drop silence yet. Having seen this, I don't mind. I would ask Jandar, and I would pull out the symbol.
Would I know if he
was he a religious man?
Was a worshiper? At all? Would I know? Or if he had a mask, perhaps, that he used that was? If he was not directly?
Yeah. Yes, I would say that he had a mask. You would know that he had a mask of a priest that he utilized this. You would make that assumption that likely, but yes, he had a mask.
Would I know
of a priest.
name for that?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Go through my notes.
And I would explain as much to you. And I would use the word mask.
I suppose I would ask about that. If you just said it like it was normal, like this mask, or like this mask, or like that mask.
Like my own. Knox was his true name. Jandar was a mask, and it's about this time that Don will present me with the name of...
Father Febris.
Sure.
Fiebras.
Okay.
Another of his masks. Do I know why a priest? What he utilized that for? Or if he had a connection to it that mattered to
Sure.
him?
Yes, I would say that you know that he used that in order to preach to a lot of the like holy worshippers in order to influence their voting leanings and their for political influence and for his own personal influence over them.
Sure. Do I know, because not every changeling would have the same moral stance about masks as another.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know if he took his masks from real people or if he created them himself? You understand my question?
Yes.
Were the faces and names and lives he chose to live things that once belonged to somebody living?
Yes.
Or pure fabrication and just pieces of him?
I would say based on the way that he trained you and the way that he did things, and the fact what you know about how his came about, is that they were taken from others.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say that his masks, though that is not always the case, typically taken from reality, from people that used to be.
Yeah. Not all of them, but most of them. Like, you would make the assumption that Jandar was probably not a person until he became him.
Sure.
But a lot of them were.
Yeah, the less lived in ones.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So you're saying that I would be able to assume that Father Fibris was someone.
Was a
Yes,
person at
correct.
some point in time prior
And he
to it being him.
probably killed them.
Yes.
Most
Sure.
likely.
So I would, as I have the holy symbol, I would just kind of make like a tisk tisk noise and say, "Killing a holy man," and I would slide I would take out my holy symbol that I have stashed in my glove and sleeve that would look much more weathered, and replace it with this fancy one, and say, best keep this one to us. People don't understand Shar. And slide that holy symbol in.
People don't typically understand things that they've not lived. Suppose it's a benefit to being the way that I am. If you can find one.
Well, I imagine there's lots of benefits for unsavory work. But sometimes unsavory work is satisfying. Means to an end.
It's certainly easier than all of this.
It's tiring, but necessary.
Then I would head out to find Dandelion.
Then I would drop silence.
Yep.
Why not? Yeah, when it's clear we're going to be walking through that doorway, I don't want it to be weird for anyone else.
Yep.
Is that silence on this door?
The fuck is
That's,
going
that's
on?
really weird. I can't hear
Who
anything.
did that?
What?
Well, I didn't notice.
What is silence? Is that a spell?
Huh?
We have a surprise guest.
A Pippin?
The boy.
A little man. Hi, bud. This is your tavern. It belongs to you. That's why we built it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Pippin.
He's looking at me like I betrayed him.
What have you done? Sitting on you, so.
Go to cry.
As you all leave the rooms that you were in and start to reconvene in the hallway at the top of the stairs, with the exception of Marcus in the bath, you all hear every bell in the house except for 5 ringing out a high-pitched, dolorous ringing sound. And that is where we will end tonight. Friends, thank you very much for watching this evening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you for sticking with us. We will be live next on Monday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern for the City of Oshwamp. Next Thursday, Sarah and I will be live for more Kiwi on the Not Great Dawn channel, and then next Friday we'll be back with more of the Lost Kings of Adoris. Same time, same place. Thank you guys for being here. Much appreciated, and have a good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.